The story of the SU-27 flanker begins during the most tense years of the Cold War. The world was divided into two powerful blocs. On one side stood the United States and its allies. On the other side stood the Soviet Union. Both sides believed that control of the sky would decide the fate of any future war. During this time, the United States introduced a fighter jet that shocked the world. This aircraft was the F-15 Eagle. It was fast, powerful, and deadly. Western pilots claimed it could not be defeated in air combat. Its radar was advanced, its missiles were accurate, and its performance gave the United States a sense of complete air superiority. For the Soviet Union, this was a serious threat. Soviet military doctrine depended heavily on strong air defense and air dominance over large territories. If NATO fighters controlled the skies, Soviet ground forces would be vulnerable, supply lines would be destroyed, and cities could be attacked without warning. The Soviet leadership understood that an answer was required, not a small upgrade, not a temporary solution, but a completely new fighter aircraft, one that could meet and defeat the best Western jets in both long-range combat and close-range dogfighting. In the early 1970s, the Soviet Air Force issued a requirement for a new heavy frontline fighter. This program aimed to create an aircraft with exceptional range, powerful sensors, high speed, and unmatched maneuverability. The goal was clear: build a fighter that could protect Soviet airspace and challenge American air superiority head-on. This requirement became known as the PFI program, Advanced Frontline Fighter. It was one of the most ambitious aviation projects in Soviet history. Several design bureaus competed for the project. Among them were Mikoyan and Sukhoi. Mikoyan focused on a lighter, more compact fighter. This path would eventually lead to the MiG-29. Sukhoi, on the other hand, proposed something much larger and more capable. Sukhoi believed that size was not a weakness. If designed correctly, size could mean longer range, more fuel-heavier weapons, and greater endurance. Their design philosophy focused on energy maneuverability, the ability to maintain speed and control even during extreme aerial maneuvers. The Sukhoi design was accepted, and thus the SU-27 project was born. From the beginning, the SU-27 was unlike anything the Soviet Union had built before. It was massive, elegant, and intimidating. Its long wings blended smoothly into fuselage, creating a shape that generated lift even at very high angles of attack. Western intelligence analysts were stunned when early satellite images appeared. This was not a typical Soviet interceptor. This was a true air superiority fighter. The aircraft was designed to patrol vast distances, defend Soviet borders, and escort bombers if needed. Its range was extraordinary, allowing it to remain in the air far longer than many Western fighters. At the heart of the SU-27 were two powerful engines. These engines were designed not only for speed, but also for reliability. They allowed the aircraft to fly at supersonic speeds for extended periods and provided incredible thrust during vertical climbs. But power alone was not enough. The true genius of the SU-27 lay in its aerodynamics. Sukhoi engineers designed the aircraft to remain controllable even when pushed to extreme limits, at angles of attack where most jets would stall and fall from the sky. The SU-27 could continue flying. This capability gave birth to some of the most famous aerial maneuvers in history, including dramatic nose-high turns that seemed impossible to Western pilots. One such maneuver would later become world-famous, the Cobra maneuver, where the aircraft pitches its nose sharply upward while maintaining forward momentum, then smoothly returns to level flight. This was not a stunt. It was a demonstration of control, a message to the world that the SU-27 could dominate close-range combat. During early flight testing, Soviet test pilots quickly realized the potential of the aircraft. They reported exceptional handling, strong stability, and an almost unnatural ability to recover from dangerous flight conditions. However, development was not easy. The SU-27 faced technical challenges, weight issues, engine reliability concerns, and avionics limitations. Early prototypes struggled with performance goals. Several redesigns were required, But Sukhoi engineers refused to compromise on the core vision. They refined the airframe, improved the engines, and upgraded flight control systems. Finally, the Su-27 reached its full potential. When it entered service with the Soviet Air Force, it represented a new era in air combat. This was not just a fighter. It was a statement of intent. The Su-27 was built to hunt enemy aircraft, to dominate the skies, and to protect the homeland at all costs. Its presence alone was enough to alter NATO planning. Western pilots trained specifically to face the flanker. Simulated dogfights revealed that the Su-27 was a formidable opponent. In close combat, its maneuverability gave it a serious advantage. In long-range engagements, its radar and missile load posed a significant threat. As the years passed, the Su-27 became more than just a single aircraft. It became a platform. From it emerged an entire family of fighters, each more advanced than the last. The Su-30, the Su-35, and even modern stealth-influenced designs trace their lineage back to the original flanker. But to understand the true impact of the Su-27, one must look beyond its specifications. This aircraft represented the peak of Soviet aerodynamic design, a balance of raw power and graceful control. It proved that Soviet engineering could match, and in some areas surpass Western technology. The flanker also became a symbol of resilience during a time of economic and political pressure. Even as the Soviet Union approached collapse, its aviation industry produced one of the finest fighter jets ever built. Pilots who flew the Su-27 often described it with respect and affection. They spoke of its strength, its responsiveness, and its ability to forgive mistakes. In the sky, the Su-27 felt alive. It responded smoothly to pilot input. It inspired confidence, and it demanded skill. This relationship between pilot and machine became one of the defining traits of the flanker. As air shows around the world began featuring the Su-27, public perception changed. Audiences watched in awe as the massive jet performed impossible maneuvers, silencing critics who once doubted Soviet aviation capabilities. The Su-27 was no longer a mystery. It was a legend in the making. And yet, this was only the beginning, because the real story of the flanker goes far beyond its early development. Its combat potential, its global influence, and its evolution into modern variants would reshape air forces across the world. This aircraft would serve not only Russia, but many other nations, becoming one of the most widely respected fighter jets in aviation history. In the next part, we will explore the weapon systems, radar technology, and combat philosophy that made the Su-27 such a dangerous opponent. This is not just the story of a fighter jet. This is the story of how the sky itself became a battlefield. The true power of the Su-27 flanker is revealed when we examine its weapons and combat systems. This aircraft was not built to look impressive. It was built to fight and win. From the beginning, Soviet planners understood that future air combat would not be decided by guns alone. Missile sensors and pilot awareness would shape the outcome of every battle. The Su-27 was designed to carry a heavy and flexible weapons load. Its multiple hardpoints allowed it to carry a wide variety of air-to-air missiles. This gave pilots the freedom to adapt to different mission requirements. For long-range combat, the flanker was equipped with radar-guided missiles. These weapons allowed it to engage enemy aircraft from beyond visual range, before the opponent even knew it was being targeted. For close-range combat, the Su-27 carried highly agile infrared-guided missiles. These missiles could lock onto heat signatures, making them deadly in dogfights. Unlike many Western fighters of its time, the Su-27 was also designed to carry a powerful internal cannon. This gun gave pilots a last line of defense when missiles were no longer effective. But weapons alone do not win battles. Information is equally important. The Su-27 was equipped with a pulse-Doppler radar system. This radar allowed it to detect targets at long distances, even against ground clutter, a major advantage during low-altitude combat. In addition to radar, the flanker featured an infrared search and track system. This passive sensor allowed the aircraft to detect enemy jets without emitting radar signals, giving it the ability to hunt silently. This combination of radar and infrared tracking gave the SU-27 a unique edge. Pilots could choose when to reveal their presence and when to remain invisible. Inside the cockpit, the pilot was surrounded by a carefully designed layout. Controls were placed to reduce workload during intense combat situations. The wide canopy provided excellent visibility, allowing pilots to maintain awareness of their surroundings. The cockpit was not luxurious, but it was functional. Every element served a purpose. One of the most important features of the SU-27 was its fly-by-wire system. This electronic control system translated pilot inputs into precise movements, while preventing the aircraft from exceeding safe limits. Unlike earlier Soviet fighters, which demanded constant correction, the flanker felt stable and responsive, even during aggressive maneuvers. This stability allowed pilots to focus on tactics rather than survival. As training exercises increased, Western pilots began to understand the true threat posed by the Su-27. In simulated dogfights, the flanker often outperformed its opponents at low speeds, where maneuverability mattered most. The aircraft could slow down dramatically, force an enemy to overshoot, then rapidly reposition for a kill. This ability changed the way air combat was approached. Energy management became critical, and pilots could no longer rely solely on speed. As the Cold War came to an end, the Su-27 faced a new reality. The Soviet Union collapsed, funding was reduced, and production slowed. Many believed the flanker would fade into history. Instead, it evolved. Russia and other nations continued to develop improved variants, adding modern avionics, more powerful radars, and advanced weapons. The Su-27 became the foundation for an entire generation of fighters. Export versions were delivered to countries around the world, including China, India, and several other nations. Each operator adapted the aircraft to its own needs, upgrading systems, integrating new missiles, and extending service life. In China, the flanker played a crucial role in shaping modern air power. It influenced domestic fighter designs and helped train a new generation of pilots. In India, the aircraft became a symbol of air superiority, proving its effectiveness during large-scale exercises. Across the world, the Su-27 earned a reputation for strength, reliability, and dominance. Despite its age, the flanker remained relevant. Its large airframe allowed continuous upgrades, keeping it competitive against newer fighters. Pilots respected it, engineers admired it, and opponents feared it. The Su-27 was not perfect. It required skilled maintenance, and early variants lacked some modern electronics. But its core design was so strong that these limitations could be overcome. This aircraft proved that good aerodynamics never become obsolete. As air combat continues to evolve, the legacy of the Su-27 remains visible in modern fighters. Its influence can be seen in advanced maneuvering techniques, high-lift airframes, and the emphasis on pilot-aircraft harmony. The flanker did not just challenge Western fighters. It changed how fighter jets were designed. It forced a reevaluation of air combat doctrine and reminded the world that innovation can come from any direction. The Su-27 stands as a testament to engineering ambition, a machine created under immense pressure, yet capable of extraordinary performance. In the next part, we will explore real-world operations, pilot experiences, and how the Su-27 shaped modern air warfare across decades. The story is far from over,